In this lesson we're going to learn the basics of heavy metal guitar. We're going to learn some power chords and some very fast right hand picking technique. I'd like to demonstrate for you now what we're going to be learning. First of all, let's set up the right hand position. To begin with, we need the pick held like this. I'm making almost a fist with my hand, and the pick is running along at right angles to my finger, which is bending in next to my thumb, like this. And my thumb is pressing against my index finger, which in turn is squeezing the pick nice and tight for a nice firm grip. Now, the sixth string needs to be muted by the palm of your hand, but I wouldn't mute it in the center like this. I would mute it slightly off center with this edge of the palm of your hand here. The reason you want it muted is when you play, you get a nice tight sound and the notes get cut off nice and easily by the muting of the hand. Otherwise you end up with too much sustain on that bass note, which we don't want. So once again, we grip the pick and we mute the string and form a fist rather than fanning your fingers out like this. I find when playing leads, you may want to, or rhythms, or leads, you may want to fan your fingers out, but the strum of the right hand wrist tends to take you on too large a sweep. With this system where we're clenching our fingers in to form a fist, we get very tight movements like that. And the basis of a lot of this heavy metal playing is to have a very fast right hand. Now, once I've muted the sixth string and once I've formed a fist, I can also, by bending my thumb, force the pick to tilt slightly downwards. That is, the edges are not flat onto the string, but on a slight downward slope, so that when I play through the string, it meets with less resistance than if the pick was flat against it, like that. So we have it slightly angled down. And the first thing you should probably try doing is a down, up, down, down, up, down, like that. So we go down, up, down, and then we bring the pick up over the string without playing it. So we get down, up, down, over the string, down, up, down. Now for an exercise to get the speed, I would start slowly, but try and get a steady stream of down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down happening like this. You don't want to suddenly switch halfway through to up, down, up, because your upstroke will be off the beat. This is a very rhythmic type of playing with a lot of emphasis on the downstroke, which coincides with the beat. So if you can, try and get it to sound like... And the more you squeeze your thumb and index finger together, the better the grip you'll have on the pick. And I should also mention that it's far better to have a very heavy or stiff pick to go through the strings. Now, if you can reach some kind of speed that's close to what I'm getting, you'll notice that the wrist movement is very minimal. Now we can also add in simple plain down strokes. Let's take a look at two of them. So we'll go down, 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 up, down. We'll get... And once again, try not to lapse into going up, down, up when you really want to go down, up, down. So we got... And a bit quicker. you'll notice I changed the timing around a bit, which is something you can do once you can control the picking. Instead of down, 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 up, down, you can go down, up, down, down, down. Essentially, you're mixing up the different timings, and when you add power chords to that, you get quite a dynamic representation of the heavy metal feel. Now we're going to take a look at another rhythm pattern, which is instead of down, up, down, which is like 1, 2, 3, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, which is down, up, played fast. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, or 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, we can mix up groups of 3 with groups of 4. Anyway, I think you get the idea. Now we can go on and look at some power chords and try some of these rhythms as exercises. Let's set up a couple of power chords. On the 6th and 5th string, at the 3rd fret, I've got a G power chord, and dropping back 1 fret, I've got an F sharp power chord. Gives it kind of a nice dark sound. Now, what I would suggest you do is keep your 3rd finger down, but lift your 1st finger off, so we have an open E string where we can try those rhythms like down, down, and then press it down for a chord. So we have, or, and we can try changing, like we can do some downstrokes with the right hand and gradually increase the speed. So when you lift that finger to go back, that 3rd finger here is still holding till the very last minute. And following with the same idea, we can add a down, up, down, like or without the single down strokes. You may have to do that slowly to begin with, but gradually you can increase the speed. And as you probably noticed, I actually included a 4-note one. So we'll try it with a 3-note, a little quicker. And with a 4-note. And we can also start with the power chord and play it that way. We don't have to start with the open 6th string. And with groups of 4. And we could go to a plain E power chord down here for a much deeper tone. And we can actually stop on some chords. That's just down, up, change. Just in closing, I'd like to say a lot of heavy metal bands, to get a much deeper tone, will often tune their 6th string down to D. If you do this for the power chord, all you simply have to do is bar 3 strings on the neck, or 2 strings. That is the 6th, 5th and 4th, or just the 6th and 5th. But you can hear with the D drop down, you get a darker, heavier sound. Also, you can tune your guitar to E flat. That's another trick that people use. That is, the sixth string and the fifth and the fourth, the third and the second and the first are all dropped down a semitone or half a step, where the sixth string is an E flat. Now, in the next lesson, we'll be looking at how to incorporate some of those fast lead runs with heavy metal.